Now, with this whole thing of the DREAM Act coming into the news for the last year and trying to pass the DREAM Act, CNN reported on Sunday that another group of children who are living in the United States who are not part of the DREAM Act and feel that they should be. And these are children who are legal in the United States of America on all sorts of different visas derivatively to their parents' visas. Children who are on H-4s because they're derivative on their parents' H-1B. Children who are on F-2 because they're derivative to their parents' F-1 student visa.
Right.
Children who are on E's and L's and all sorts of different non-immigrant visas. Children who are living in the United States who are children of diplomats who have been living here for 10, 15 years. What happens is when they reach 21, they got to figure it out for themselves. They fall out of status.
Right.
After living here legally for 10, 15 years. Now, a lot of times, children are fall out of status because their parents applied for their green card. They applied for their green card, but because of the visa waiting lists and now because of COVID, these green cards are taking forever and children are aging out.
Yeah.
So experts are saying there's about 200,000 children who are living in this limbo who potentially in the next 2 years or so will fall out of status, who have been living here for over a decade. Now, Dip Patel, he's a 25-year-old pharmacist and the founder of Improve the Dream. This is a group of documented dreamers. That's what they're calling themselves. They're documented now, but then they're all falling out of status when they're 21. And everybody knows these children.
Yeah.
Okay? They're pressing Congress and the Biden administration to help save their futures. Patel says the whole situation is something that most people don't really even know exists. That it's possible for a child to be brought here legally, live here legally, do all their education here, but still have no chance to become an American, then ultimately become illegal.
That's crazy. That's insane to me.
Yeah. Now, Lakshmi Pavathinathan, I apologize, Lakshmi, for butchering your name. It's very long with lots of syllables. Yeah. She's 19 years old. She's a sophomore at Drexel University in Philadelphia, and she wants to become a doctor. She first came to the United States when she was 3 years old. She said she has tried to get a student visa to stay here past her 21st birthday because her parents have been on a waiting list for a green card for years. They still haven't gotten it yet. She's in legal status, but is going to fall out of status soon.
Yeah.
And she said she applied for her student visa 14 months ago and still waiting on it. And what she's really doing is she probably did a change of status, because if you go on the USCIS website, they're saying right now change of status to a student is 17 months. That's how delayed they are. Now, Julia Gallant, a senior policy analyst at the Migration Policy Institute, and this is says this issue is affecting obviously a lot of people. And she says one major reason is the green card backlogs are immense, just like we talked about, especially for people from India. India has a backlog that's 20 plus years for employment-based cases. It could take decades for them to even have a chance to apply. So basically, anyone who is from India, who's brought their children here on H-4s and they're waiting on employment-based cases for over a decade, all their children are falling out of status. And they got to either try to figure out how to get to a student visa or some other visa. And according to Julia Gallant, this means many people who came to the United States as young children are still waiting for their family's turn by the time they turn 21. Turn meaning getting their green card. And at that point, the adult visa holders' children are no longer considered dependents. And they're kicked out of line and forced to either remain in the United States illegally, change their status if they're lucky to do it. The parole status that hopefully passes, the Plan C, would help many of these children. Because if they were physically here before January 1st, 2011, even children who aged out and are now 25, 26, 27 and out of status, as long as they can prove you were here before January 1st, 2011, it will help them.
Okay.
But it doesn't help everybody.
Right.
But we're talking about it because these are children, hundreds of thousands of children were saying, oh, you know, with the DREAM Act, why are we punishing children?
Right.
And here's a whole other group of children that the United States is punishing, yet nobody talks about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we thought it would be a good idea to discuss it a little
I'm
bit.
happy we did because could you imagine being here, like getting brought here when you're like 9 years old, and then all of a sudden like you're of age now, like 19, going to college,
screwed.
and you're screwed. Like
Totally screwed.
you know nothing else.
Right.
Like you were brought here legally, and
What about that young girl from India?
yeah.
She was from 3. Do you know the difference between me and that young girl who came here at 3 is? Nothing. Right? Jinx!
Right.
Jinx! Yo.
Thank you.
Okay. But we said it the same thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
That's scary.
Yeah, because, I mean, do you have any recollection of where you were before you were 3 years old? None.
No.
None whatsoever. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.